this one got 43,000 likes and 500,000 views. But this is by HasanAbi, Hasan Piker. So do you want to read this, Sana, and respond to this?
This is a stupid take. Our food is poison. The surveillance state is put a flock axon camera in every corner. A data center in every backyard. Prices are out control. So he didn't even use proper grammar. Our military depleted its ammo and burned billions in Iran for Israel. America has always had tremendous potential, and we are squandering. Okay, number one, at least read before you post. Okay, number two.
Proofread.
Number two, I mean, people make mistakes. I get it, but I have to point that out. Number two, I don't like when he in particular does this. Hasan is so dishonest because he will play the patriotic card when it's convenient, but he doesn't give a fuck about America. He grew up in Turkey. He will identify as Muslim or white as if those are different categories when it's convenient. And like, yeah, those are mutually exclusive categories when it's convenient. And it is like, it's ridiculous. Also, we didn't burn billions for Israel. Everything that we've done has been because Israel is an ally and also because it benefits us. It's not like we're doing things just lying on our sword for another country. Everything that we're doing also benefits us. And the other thing too is about a data center in every backyard. It is true that data centers are expanding, but he uses those data centers for his career, right? So he uses that information. It's not bad that there's data centers that are expanding. It's not in backyards though. It's in very specific locations. It's not going into residential areas the way people think. As far as the camera stuff, I don't have a take on that because that's a very complex issue I just haven't looked into. As far as our food being poison, I'm pretty sure that is highly contested point, and that RFK is quote unquote fixing it. I don't agree with everything RFK says or does, but hypothetically, Maha is doing a lot of things that a lot of nutritional experts have wanted to do for years, reprioritizing things like protein. So this whole take is stupid. As far as us squandering our potential, first of all, I just disagree that he gets to count as a we or an R. I just reject him. I know technically he's an American, but I just don't include him in my R. Number one. And number two, I don't think we're squandering it. I think we're restoring it to the greatness that it was promised, that it has the potential for. I think we've been squandering it throughout most of my lifetime. This is the first time in my lifetime that we've actually had a president really go and help us build infrastructure, both internally while maintaining our place on the global stage. So that's my take. It's my hot-headed, off-the-cuff take.
Very well said.
Can I
Very, very well said.
Can I respond to Cenk's nephew next?
Yes, of course.
That's the most directly I'm willing to refer to him, and that's also the only skill he had.
Mm-hmm.
This idiot, and he is an idiot. Like I'm convinced he has low IQ.
Mm-hmm.
His claim to
That's
fame
what
was
happens
making
when you're
frat boy.
inbred.
All right,
I don't know about that.
Go.
Some people just have
Go on.
low IQs because of themselves. But he used to make frat boy videos picking up women. He was essentially an Andrew Tate type person until it became inconvenient, and now he is grifting off of communism while owning a multi-million-dollar home, and shocking his dog with a shock collar to stay in place while he streams. This is a psychopath. Okay, Hasan Piker, sorry, Cenk's nephew is a psychopath. Full stop. Now, our food is poison. I assume this is referring to the beef that was recently imported, that was cheaper than other beef because it has something in it. RFK Jr. is doing to food things that should have been done for like 50 years that weren't done because of certain lobbies. I don't know the story about the beef beyond like what I've seen in the headlines, but even if that's true, on net, this administration is doing far more good than anyone else. data centers are absolutely necessary to win the AI race and not be a slave to China, which I'm sure he would love. But prices are out of control. Okay, so let's see. Okay, let's see what happens when you take power. What's going to happen in New York? I'm sure that's going to go splendidly. Our military depleted its ammo and burned billions in Iran for Israel. It wasn't for Shauna, I disagree. It wasn't for Israel one bit. It was for America completely, and because Israel has the same interests, interest was went along with it, like joined forces, because Israel and the U.S. shock have a lot of similar interests.
Apparently, we're
America
not allowed to
has
have mutual interests.
no, yeah. America has always had tremendous potential. We're squandering it. I want to see what happens to America's potential if you take power, you stupid piece of shit.
Well, we're seeing exactly what happens because Mondamni is a copy of Hasan Piker. Furthermore, the only thing I can add to what you and Shauna said, because you covered that so very completely, he is a terrorist sympathizer, a terrorist lover, explicitly so. He loves Hamas. He loves Hezbollah unapologetically. Talks about it all the time. Wished for Charlie Kirk's death, celebrates his death every chance he gets, believes that America deserves 9/11. He has no business being inside our borders. He should have been deported years ago. And the fact that he still has the privilege to live in America is disgusting. He needs to go back to Turkey.
One more thing. He called Houthi terrorists who
let's sit in at some point as well. Sit in Shana as well. Yeah, I'm Shana. Sit. I mean, yes. Go on.
Okay. Like he calls the Houthi pirates because he's so dumb, and because they use the word pirates, he calls them like he compares them to One Piece, which is an anime about pirates, and the pirates are the good guys. But like, these are people who murder and kill and rape and do all these things. Like, this is not a game and this is not a meme, but this guy is so dumb, so empty-headed, and so psychopathic that he doesn't care about any of this because he just likes to meme things into existence. I'm done.
Yes.
All right, Sid.
Yeah. So increasingly, I view people like Hasan Piker and Nick Fuentes as like punk rock or gangster rap, right? It's like it's a, instead of music being the arena in which they perform their subversion, it's politics. And part of the power of it is how aggravating it is, right? How aggravating it is to normies, or how aggravating it is to older generations. So that, I think, is what a lot of where he gets his audience from. It's like it's a subversive, edgy kind of performance art that he's doing, and that appeals to sort of disaffected, angsty, privileged teenagers.
And he's protected because, in addition to being Cenk's nephew, he also has an excellent relationship with the CEO of Twitch.
Sure. Yeah. So well, I mean, yeah. So this is exactly this supports my point very well, Lisa. So there is an elite that benefits from this, so like that's actually earning money off the punk rock, or off the gangster rap, right? So there's an elite that like helps to promote it because it has monetary potential. So basically that's what I think that he's doing. Increasingly, that's what I feel like he's doing. And so I wouldn't say like, so if we think about it as like, okay, how is he as a political analyst? I mean, he's very confused because he's saying that, he's constantly contradicting himself. But so I think it's, if we look at it as like, how is he as a sort of political social media performance artist? I think he's actually he's clearly quite effective. And even something like this, which is idiotic on the surface, right, is attractive to a lot of people. So, when I look at this, it's just, in very recent memory, I can recall Piker saying that the fall of the Soviet Union was a disaster, and that Mao Zedong is one of the world's great leaders.
Yes, he did say that.
Yeah, so he said that. So what he said when he's doing that, he's also saying, I have no principled objection to the surveillance state. That's what he's saying. Okay. He's saying, I have no principled objection to the surveillance state. The issue is not surveillance. The issue is who does the surveillance. I want to be doing the surveillance, and I want to be imprisoning my political opponents. Not that surveillance is wrong. No, it's that I should be the one doing it. Okay. And then he's saying prices are out of control. Well, in those societies, right? In those societies, we had nothing on the shelves, right? We had a scarcity, but he's okay with that, right? So he's okay with scarcity. All right, he's okay with scarcity. He's okay with millions and millions of people dying, as long as he controls the surveillance state. He and his cronies control the surveillance state. He's willing to do that.
That's exactly right. That goes to the heart of leftism. They don't hate cops. They want to be the cops. It's not that they're anti-cop. They want to be the cops. That's the point.
That's right. And they can't have the society they ask for without some sort of enforcement, some sort of violent enforcement. They can't have it. It's not possible. Okay. So what he's saying is that this is why it appeals to people, right? It appeals to sort of like people with no understanding of history, a totally ahistorical worldview. This is why it appeals, because people look and say the surveillance state is bad. I mean, the surveillance state is so much worse in other parts of the world than it is in the US. And we can critique the surveillance state here. We can say, hey, is this good or is it not? We should have that debate. We should continually have that debate about what level of surveillance should be allowed and what shouldn't be allowed, in a free society. We should have that debate. But he's implying here that he's against it. And that's obviously a lie. It is obviously a lie. He wants the surveillance state. He wants to control it. He wants his friends to control it. And he wants to be able to imprison his political opponents. That's what he wants to do. And he's very clear when he says that the fall of the Soviet Union was a disaster, or that Mao Zedong was one of the great leaders. He's clearly saying, this is okay with me. It just depends on who is able to do it.
Right. And he's not anti-imperialist either, because he supported the USSR, not Russia before the USSR. He explicitly supported the USSR. So he's an imperialist, just as long as it's for the people that he agrees with.
That's right. And let me make a prediction beyond this. Sorry, you want to
everyone short, and then we'll do super chats. Okay. Go on.
Okay. Let me make a prediction. Okay. Beyond this, if Hasan Piker gets his way, okay, if he gets his revolution, he will be a casualty of that revolution.
1,000%.
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
He will be, because there will be a point where power is consolidated and Hasan Piker is no longer useful.
That's what always happens. That's just the historical record.
Yeah. So it's easy to be a dissident in a free society.
Exactly.
Okay, but you cannot be a wild card and a loose cannon once power is consolidated.
Yep.
I will also say,
Shauna wants to get in.
Yeah, just really quick. Also, who is he popular with? If we want to look at what I've read about his demographics, it's actually largely upper middle class and upper class white women around my age and a little bit older. Like it's like 35 to 55 age range.
Imagine my shock.
I know, we need to be stopped.
Repeal the 19th.
Right? Yeah. Well, at least for them. I don't know. They kind of go gaga weird over him. I know where the framework comes from. He's like a little bit exotic, which is kind of like fun for them. It's just how they are.
They are unironically attracted to him. It's actually
they are unironically attracted to him. But the reason why they are unironically attracted to him is because he sits at this weird cusp of being a little bit exotic, but not being so exotic that they feel like they're being fetishist. That's why.
Safe, noble, savage.
Safe, noble, savage. Exactly. And then he also appeals to what they were raised on, like just that was kind of the water that we swam in. I grew up in Seattle. I know those waters pretty well. I think if I hadn't been broke, I probably would have been exactly like them, if I'm being honest. But just like reality, I had to get jobs cleaning toilets, and that like humbles you and
changes your
makes you
perspective
go,
on life.
Yeah, it does. But yeah, also I would like to point out though that even though he has some good looks now, he was a fat kid and he is getting fat again. And I think we should always bring up that he's starting to get really fat. And yeah,
we should point that out every chance we get. Absolutely.
Always point out that he's getting really fat.
And he has a small head.
Absolutely. Okay.
Okay, Guy, very, very short before we go to so super chats are piling up here.
My understanding is from that discussion is that we should only allow black women to vote, right? That's what I'm getting at. What I'm getting from you. And
no, the majority of black women probably shouldn't be voting either. Oh, by the way, okay, I'm just memeing. I'm memeing here.
We know.
Don't take me too seriously.
Okay.
Black women that own guns, they can vote.
Yeah, exactly.
and two, yeah, he's absolutely insecure about everything because he's a pathological liar, and he knows he's going to get caught. Like his dating things were also about how to lie to women to get them to sleep with you, because he used to be fat and then he became buff, and then he's like, oh, I'm so buff, I'm such a hot boy, that like that was his thing. He's still writing off of that essentially, and so I'm really glad he's getting fat, because he's going to lose a lot of influence when he's fat, because he's dumb. When you have to actually listen to what he's saying, not just be mesmerized by his eyes and beard or whatever, then you're gonna, oh wait, wow, this is stupid. That's what happened to Ethan Klein.
My name is Armin Navabi. I'm an Iranian political analyst with decades of experience fighting the Islamic regime inside and outside of Iran. Make sure you follow me for more, and also make sure you join our discussion group. I'm there almost every single day. Come talk to me there and the rest of the people there in our group calls. It's a great place to meet and talk to people who like talking about politics. The link is in the description and or in the bio. You could also get there by scanning the QR code on the screen. See you there.